NBA free agency officially kicked off Monday evening as the negotiating window opened for eligible players, but Monday night was relatively quiet. The first stunner of the new league year came Tuesday morning. Miles Turner, the top free agent on the board, agreed to a deal with the Bucks for years. That was a surprise on its own, but then to make matters even crazier, the Bucks also waived Damian Lillard to make room for Turner. After yesterday morning's stunning news about the Bucks just going all in and their last-ditch effort to try to get Giannis Antetokounmpo to stay, the rest of the afternoon remained pretty quiet. So we do still have some top names left on the market, and hopefully we'll see some movement and some action today. Those top guys on the board, you got Josh Giddey, DeAndre Ayton, Al Horford, and you got Jonathan Kuminga. And a major injury occurred during Tuesday's WNBA Commissioner's Cup final between the Lynx and the Fever. But the injury wasn't with a player, it was an iconic halftime performer, Red Panda. You have definitely seen Red Panda. Her videos go absolutely viral on social media, or you've seen her on TV. Well, she ended up falling off of her unicycle during her legendary unicycle and bowls routine. She normally has to use a 7-foot tall ladder to climb her unicycle, so falling off of this was a massive deal. Her halftime performance was stopped. She ended up leaving in an ambulance while holding her wrist. So we'll hopefully get an update on Red Panda because she's iconic. But to the actual game, the Indiana Fever pulled off a big upset to defeat the Minnesota Lynx in the 2025 Commissioner's Cup Championship, 74-59. The Fever were without Caitlin Clark, but they ended up putting together a brilliant defensive effort to win the WNBA's in-season competition for the first time in franchise history. From the Crop Medcap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on the Fan.
Almost there.
What up, everybody? It is 10 a.m. in the District of Columbia, and all the boys are back in town. Good morning, Brian.
What up, brother? What's happening with you?
Not much, man. You're listening to BMitch Finlay. I am here. Shout out to Metropolitan Moving and Storage, wearing the quarter zip they gave me. I love this quarter zip. It's very comfortable. If you're watching on the stream, you can see it. Bang. Everybody's here. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, White Brian. Good morning, Landfill. Feels good to see everybody.
Yeah, I guess.
Like this is, I mean, Brian's clearly excited to see everybody. I mean, this is about as slow of a week as slow weeks get.
The NBA changed that yesterday, dog.
Yeah, a lot
the
of
NBA
happened.
said, hell, it's slow. We're going to make somebody a $70 million man.
Right. But if you notice with the NBA, it used to be, and maybe this is kind of teams have gotten smarter because I feel like we see it in the NFL too. Free agency is a lot less of a thing now. I think way more teams.
Well, you're not paying attention yesterday, dude. They would have people. There's a movement going on yesterday.
Sure, but like, there's no mega name hitting free agency anymore. Miles Turner's probably the biggest name.
I mean,
I don't even think he's made an all-star.
The way that they got it set up in the NBA, signing Shea to that deal. That's why they don't go to free agency.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, if you make first team All Pro, second and the third team All Pro, you're getting paid.
Right.
You don't have to move.
Right. There was a time though where guys were moving on. I mean, LeBron famously took his talents to South Beach.
The numbers that are coming out were astronomical, and I believe LeBron about to move again. I believe.
Did he really?
Hell yeah. He didn't do that deal to say he's staying there. He did that deal so they can move him.
You think so? Gosh, that guy. That guy just loves himself. I don't know the right way to describe it, but
Hey,
like
got a little T.O. in him. He good.
does have a little T.O. in him. I wonder if we can get odds on LeBron moving. So we're all kind of in the same boat today. The Nats are supposed to, so the Nats game got canceled last night. Did you get hit with that rain at all?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a game you had to cancel.
On my way home yesterday, I was like, okay, then this is you see it was getting dark. And I'm like, listen, if it gets dark, then it just lighten up and I'm gonna be pissed off. I was supposed to have a big golf match yesterday. All of a sudden, sky opened up. No golf. But then, 15, 20 minutes later, it was like, oh, bam, it's gone now. But then it came back a little bit later. But then as the night went on, it just had this little light drizzle the whole night. Stayed around. That little annoying drizzle.
So for me, because I just never stopped driving anymore, I drove from Richmond to Fairfax to pick up my car. Shout out to Oarsman Fairfax Toyota. And then I had to drive home Fairfax to Bethesda. And you can only imagine how much fun the Beltway was with the storms and Tyson's and the construction. I ended up cutting through McLean. Shout out to Dead Run Drive. But so the girls were supposed to have a swim meet last night.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one that got canceled a couple of weeks ago for rain.
Right.
So they, according to my swimming insider, who is my wife, they really had to get this one in for like the official, record book on the season.
Is there an indoor pool out there at all?
There is, but it's way too small.
Oh.
The indoor pool out
that's
there.
That's the next thing they build. They always building onto that clubhouse. Build a big ass indoor pool.
Can I tell you what I'd prefer? Let's just chill with building new stuff. Let's just relax.
That's not gonna happen, Jay. Listen, they've been building on that thing since I got here. They gonna always add something new.
Dude, next time you're over there, I'll show you the indoor pool. So that building was built in 1924, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Like the indoor pool is original.
Okay, well, they need to move that. They need to change that.
Like, B, if you can imagine, like, if Great Gatsby's house had an indoor pool, that's what it is. Like, it's ornate, but it's just very old. I think there's like grandfather clauses. I don't know. But so then we're waiting.
Indoor pool, you wouldn't have to worry about the rain.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just saying.
So then there was no swim meet. So we went out to dinner, and I said to my wife, I was like, "You want to drive? Like I've been in a car since Friday." She was like, "No." So then I got to drive us to dinner. But it was a nice time. I had a dude come up to me, say he loved the show. Said you and BMitch are the best. So shout out to that dude.
I tell you, boy. All these people keep coming up to us. I tell you.
Obviously, a lot of movement yesterday in the NBA, in the NHL. There's also a lot of talk about the Commander Stadium as it just kind of keeps continuing here.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get any feedback? Anybody reach out to you yesterday at all?
Mm-mm.
I would say the same thing. I think the mayor is concerned, but I think it's more. I think folks got to really understand how much the Harris ownership group is trying to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a dude in my mentions last night kind of hitting me and telling me, the problem is the folks that the council members that aren't into the deal as currently constituted don't think the city is in line to get enough of the cash, whether it's parking or the bars in there or the whatever, right? They think the city should be getting a bigger cut.
Let me ask you a question. What cut they getting right now? See, that's the thing. I'm baffled by people that something has been sitting there for well over 30 years, and you haven't been getting a damn thing from it.
Right.
Now you're going to dictate how much you. I think anything is better than zero for a city that needs money. How about get stuff going and begin to do that? Don't shut it down before it starts, because guess what? The next person don't want to come do anything either.
I understand that maybe you want a better deal, right? Like, I think everybody always wants more money, more advantages, whatever it is, right? Like, I get that. That's human nature. But I think you got to also, what's the old phrase? Like a bird in hand versus two in the bush. Sometimes take the bird in hand. Because, like, I don't know, Brian. Like, I gave the hypothetical example yesterday, right? Like, American University decides they want to build a hospital, build a medical school, and they want to do it at the RFK site. Like, okay, that's a viable, legitimate investment that will create jobs and be a boom for the area.
Yeah.
I don't think it would create the same that a new stadium would, but like if that offer was on the table for that land, okay, I can wrap my brain around that.
Yeah.
I don't think that offer's out there.
See, that's the thing.
These dudes have billions of dollars.
This is a typical Vinny, Dan trying to get Albert Hainsworth here deal. They're negotiating against themselves. So the council right now is saying, "Oh, we want more," but you don't have nothing else that wants to go there. So, and let's be real. If it were, we will be hearing about it. We damn sure will be hearing about it. We haven't heard one thing about anything else trying to go there.
Dude, like if Bezos was just coming to town to rebuild, whatever it is, HQ2, okay, then you got something else that's viable. It doesn't seem like there's anything else viable.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we're just, I don't know.
Sometimes people want to argue against stuff just to argue against it, and they have nothing else in mind, nothing else in the plans. And that's when I believe that you're not working for the constituents, you're working for you and your pride, okay? To be able to say, look what I did. But you better be able to build something, because ultimately, people are going to want to know what the hell's going there then.
Right.
Because right now, for over 30 years, it's been an eyesore. It's even more of an eyesore now. The more rust gets onto it, it's an eyesore.
Totally.
What are you going to do about it?
So one thing that did catch my ear last night, so got the kids to bed, I sit down in the chair, trying to,
Hey, Martin, grab my ears.
I turned the TV on, and it was on ESPN, and they were doing like a free agency thing. I had never heard of this. Basketball players are now getting turf toe.
But they are now they've been getting turf toe. That's not new.
You're not playing on turf.
Dude, people don't have to play on turf to get turf toe. Turf toe happens on grass. What you talking about?
Right, but how does it happen on a basketball court?
It's the same thing. It's the ligament getting inflamed, no matter if it's a basketball court.
So explain it. I don't know. I heard it. So Jared Jackson.
It can happen to hockey players on ice.
What is it?
Turf toe is inflamed, that ligament or whatever, the joint gets inflamed.
Where? Like
in your toe, that big ass toe.
On the big toe?
Yeah, normally it's the big toe. So you can get it anywhere. If you jam it.
You ever had it?
Strain it? No. Well, yeah, maybe a little, but I never had nothing that kept me out of a game. Then again, I'm crazy, so I'm different.
So here's what. Now, obviously,
because the name of it, I know the name of it. People go turf toe, and you brought it to the radio too. But you don't play on turf. You can get turf toe anywhere, dog.
Clearly,
it's people that don't play sports that get turf toe.
Maybe Jeff
around.
has it. Jeff, you ever had turf toe?
No.
Okay, good.
But I know some people.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean, Jeff.
Yeah, carpet toe.
So a lot of people.
I had carpet burn on my knees before with the legs. Say now,
Lord, ever.
Yo, that didn't
YouTube boy
sound like I think you wanted it to sound.
Yeah.
Like, why are you on your knees, dog?
That's why I said with the ladies.
Okay.
Still.
Hey man, you do you, buddy. So are you still Raleigh bound? What's your plan?
Yeah.
When you guys heading out this afternoon?
Yeah.
All right, will you take one car or what?
Yeah.
So what about when you inevitably want to go play golf?
There's 2 cars at my daughter's house, and my son has a car too.
That's right. Where you stay with Bria? Who do you stay with?
Yeah, I probably say Bria's house.
Okay. How long you coming back? Sunday? When are you coming back?
I'll be back here for Monday.
I will not. I will not, sir. I think it's going to be so, dude. Here's my point about the NBA. Obviously, SGA getting paid is the headline. I mean, 70. Dude, they were saying last night by the second or third year of that contract, he's going to make more per game. He's going to make more than $1 million.
He'll be making $1 million per game or more. Yeah.
I think by the third year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
And like
one thing about sports, all these owners that always talk about how poor they are, you know that if you paying people this type of deal, you're not poor. You're making money. You're just lying.
I agree. So this is from ESPN, Kevin Pelton. Obviously, the biggest news is the SGA extension. But of the actual dudes that are hitting free agency, so Miles Turner, I think, is so in this ESPN article, they wrote proven starter in his prime. I think that's pretty fair to describe Turner. I don't think he's a star player or anything. Do you know, like, the next best?
He was exceptional down the stretch in the regular season. Played great early in the playoffs, and he didn't play very well down in the finals.
And he got paid.
Yeah, he could play though.
He can play,
yeah.
But he's not like an all-star. Like, he's not. If you're putting the NBA into tiers, he's a second or third tier player.
He's a second tier guy, but he's on his way. He's not completely there, but I think the thing about it is we always discuss stars. You don't just win with the star.
I agree with that.
You got to win with those other guys too.
NBA free agency used to be these guys going all over, and it was crazy. Do you know this is according to ESPN, the top free agent listed on this ESPN list? Josh Giddey.
Okay.
Quentin Grimes.
But see, Jay, LeBron, when he went, and then you started getting guys following that suit. Even prior to LeBron, guys didn't move a lot. They grandfathered people in and allowed them to pay the stars more money to keep them in those areas. That's been going on for years.
One thing what's Julius Randle going to do?
I think Julius Randle went back.
He re-signed with Minnesota?
I thought he did.
He's an interesting cat. And what's up with Karl Anthony Towns? Is he still under contract with the Knicks?
Don't know.
Bodega Cat? I like that nickname. I don't know, man. The NBA used to have like this incredible offseason that you just were glued to, and it just feels a little more subdued because of the nature of the contracts. The biggest stars are going to stay where they are and sign those supermax.
If you really,
you'd be crazy not to
if
sign
you really think about it, the biggest stars basically stayed until LeBron left. And then you started seeing people trying to join up with the three people on the teams. Prior to that, you didn't have that. And then after LeBron, KD moved, Kawhi bounced around, Paul George jumped, and James Harden. Same people were moving all the time. Other guys were signing right back to their teams.
Yeah. I mean, have the Wizards done anything? Have they made a roster move?
They drafted 2 people.
3
people.
Wizards news. It's probably going to be about like Harry Potter. All right, Bullets Forever 2 hours ago. Let's see what you got here.
I think the Wizards are going to do what they're doing until after that. We talked to Chase was yesterday.
Yeah.
After that last first round pick that they have to be the one that's protected. After they can keep that in their hands, then they'll start doing stuff. They're not trying to be very, very great next year.
So, according to Bullets Forever, shout out to Albert Lee, wrote this article. Malcolm Brogdon is a free agent who could be talking with the Kings. According to Albert Lee, he doesn't think Brogdon's coming back. Tristan Vucevic, who I like, I thought he was pretty good down the stretch. They gave him a 2-way qualifying offer, so I guess he's a RFA. So that sounds like they could keep him. And then the other dude is JT Thor. I think Jeff predicted him to be a Supermax player. Unclear if he'll be back. Chris Middleton, it sounds like they're going to keep. That seems like it for your Wizards free agency update. Obviously, what they're trying to do, what they're trying to build, there's not a lot of focus on right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I wanted to do this. I met a young man the other night named Jack Smith. He does play-by-play for the Fredericksburg Nationals. This dude is crazy impressive.
A Fretnet.
Like, I wish I could buy stock in a person's career, because this dude will be calling, I don't know what, maybe he's a baseball guy, whatever sport he really wants to go after. B, when you hear this kid, you're not going to believe he's 21 or whatever. Jack Smith will join us next. Our guy Neil Greenberg is going to join us at 11. The current plan is for the Nats to play baseball at 1 o'clock. If that happens, we go. We'll keep you updated on the current plans. Nobody go anywhere. This is BMitch and Finlay. What I do have to tell you, though, if you're looking to buy or sell a home in the D.C. area, there's only one dude you should work with. His name is John Leahy.
Just like this recent seller who was thrilled to receive an offer which was $20,000 over the asking price for their Silver Spring property. Everything went smoothly. There was no stress, no setbacks, and the sale closed right on time. The client had previously been told by another agent that he wouldn't be able to make any profit at all, but he ended up earning exactly what he wanted because he called John Leahy. Who says there are no guarantees in life? Check out John Leahy's guaranteed offer right there on this website. You can get the ball rolling at johnsellsmv.com. We're talking about John Leahy and the Fine Living Group of eXp Realty. John offers you flexible fees customized to your needs, and he knows that life happens. So if needed, he will let you out of your contract at any time.
Anytime. I mean, there's so many reasons why John is a differentiator in the space, but I think the biggest is stress. You know how stressful moving is, B? You got to get like 8,000 documents to the mortgage guy, and then you got to deal with escrow, and there's all these terms that get thrown at you that you don't really know what they're saying. And let's say you got stress on your own end. There's a family situation or a work situation that's making you move. All of those things add up to make moving really difficult. Well, you know what John Leahy does is he makes it really simple. He can remove the stress. John and the Fine Living Group do this all the time. They know what they're doing, and they can get it done for you. Call John or check out thefinelivinggroup.com. John Leahy, the DMV MVP of real estate.
This sports update is brought to you by Guerrilla Fireworks. The largest fireworks store on the East Coast is now open. Capitals defenseman Martin Feravari signed a 7-year extension through the 2032-33 season that is worth $6 million annually. Feravari, who had 1 year of team control remaining, will enter the final year of his 3-year bridge deal that will see him make $2.675 million before his new contract begins at the beginning of the 2026 season. Securing Feravari to a long-term deal means the Caps now have 7 players who have more than 3 years remaining on their current contracts. It also means, on the Capitals front office front, that they have one less decision to make ahead of what is expected to be a very active offseason in 2026 that will see the club have a projected $39 million in cap space. Guerrilla Fireworks, the largest fireworks store on the East Coast, is now open, featuring all major brands of firecrackers, rockets, mortars, artillery shells, repeaters, Roman candles, and so much more. 30 minutes from the DMV in Charlestown, West Virginia, Guerrilla Fireworks is just 1 mile from Hollywood Casino. From the Crop Medcap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on the Fan.
BMitch Finlay 1067 The Fan. Got Nats baseball coming up just a couple hours if it all goes down, man. Joining us right now, though, I'm really excited to get this dude on the phone, Jack Smith. Jack does play-by-play for the Fredericksburg Nationals. You can follow him at Jack Smith PXP. Jack joining us on the Rude Guest Hotline. Jack just graduated from University of Southern California and was named the Jim Nance College Broadcaster of the Year. I got to listen to Jack speak Monday night, and I was blown away. Jack, what's up, dude? Thanks for making time.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me.
So tell B a little bit about what you did at USC and how you got this award.
Well, first of all, I think DC needs to know you won the DC Sportscaster of the Year.
Yeah,
How about a round of
old
applause
news.
for you? Congratulations.
We're good. Yeah, thanks, dude.
He like to downplay all that stuff, Jack. I don't know. I don't understand this dude. He works his ass off, then he gets up and he want to act like it never happened.
Let's talk about you, Jack.
Jack, put him on Front Street.
Yeah, at USC, obviously we've got some great athletics, but there's a handful of people there as well that want to be broadcasters and call the games that those guys play, and that was me growing up, and that was me at USC, and really fun to be able to call some really big sports there, and just kind of for 4 years work at that. You go to practice, you go to games, you call them as many as you can.
So were you calling football?
At the end of the year yeah. So football, baseball, basketball. Obviously, we had pretty blessed to have Caleb Williams and Juju Watkins run there in my 4 years. But yeah, so pretty much all sports, and the recognition was cool, but just feel great to have gotten that experience and jump into the minor league world and be here in Fredericksburg.
That's very cool. So what's it like? Do they call the Frederick, or is that the Peanuts? Do I have that right?
So the team used to be in Potomac. So that's probably why you think that. So they used to be in Potomac as the Potomac Nationals. The Silber family, who owned the team, moved them to Fredericksburg to be ready for 2020. Obviously that season didn't end up happening. So since 2021, they've been playing here in Fredericksburg. So it's the Fred Nats, not the Peanuts, but they are the same team, just in 2021 changed names. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. So how does it work in the minors? Do you go on the road with them? Are you just on the bus with them? Like, how does that all shake out?
Yeah, we go on the road. So me and my other broadcast partner, we go on the road as well. The team's in Delmarva right now. I'm back here at home as we ready up. We're back home again for July 4th, so it's a little bit of a split week. But most minor league broadcasters take the bus. We drive just to be able to have some flexibility in whatever city we're in. But yeah, it's a 132-game season. Team goes on the road. They play at home. Instead of like the major leagues where it's 3 or 4 game series, in the minors it's a 6-game series. So you're in one city for 6 of the 7 days of the week, Tuesday through Sunday, and then Monday's an off day for everybody. here at the single A level. So most of the time you alternate between 6 home games to 6 road games. Sometimes you'll have 2 homestands in a row, 2 road trips in a row. But yeah, they're long series, but they're fun, and there's a lot of good players in this league.
Well, Jack, what I'm hearing is that you have to put in a lot of work, but it's rewarding at the end, right? So anybody like younger than you or probably your age that all of a sudden see somebody on TV, see a JP Finlay win the DC Sports Council of the Year, and they go, oh, man, I want to do that. That seems fun. Is it just fun or is work goes into it?
Oh, I mean, I think work goes into anything fun.
Yeah.
Obviously,
but people don't think that, though. They just think you just show up there.
Dude, I get a million emails like, how can I get your job? Like, well, I worked middle of the night for 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously, especially at the minor league level, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. But I think in any job that's fun or any job that's worthwhile, it takes work to not only get there, but you got to do work while you're doing it to stay good at it and to do a good job at something. But it's really fun. And, some of the work that we do here is just kind of helping media relations, but also making it a good experience for people in the ballpark. We have a really nice stadium that's built in 2019, so it's super new. It's one of the best in minor league baseball. And so, doing some stuff for the video board or for the stream for people to watch around as they walk around the ballpark. It's hard work, but I find pretty rewarding.
Well, talking with our friend Jack Smith here, play-by-play for the Fredericksburg Nationals, just won the Jim Nance College Broadcaster of the Year award for his work at Southern Cal for the Trojans. Jim Nance filmed a video for him that I got to watch. And I don't know, it sure looked like Jim Nance was sitting in Augusta when he filmed this, or he might have recreated Augusta in his backyard. But wherever Nance was looked very pleasant. So
I will see Jack doing that one day.
Dude, I think we will. I'm telling you, this kid was so impressive. How old are you, dude?
21.
Yeah. All right. What do you want to do? Baseball, football, whatever comes your way? Like, is there
all of them?
A desire?
Yeah, I mean, I think any broadcaster that, will say they want to do anything that comes their way, and I'm definitely like that as well. I'm not going to say no to something cool, but my number one dream's always been baseball, and that's the sport that I grew up playing. It's my favorite one. And so I think dream job is, something like some of the Bob Carpenters of the world do, or Dave Jagler or Charlie Slows, doing play-by-play at the major league level, whether that's radio or TV. Always been a dream of mine, and that's why, the minor league grind sometimes is not what people want to do. And for me, it's totally worth it just because being able to show up at a baseball game every day and call play-by-play for a couple innings and bring the game to the fans, that's the number one dream for me. And I have so much fun doing it, and our fans are great, and they tune into the broadcast and they listen, and it's really, really cool. But that's always been the dream for me.
What's been your biggest game or biggest play called so far?
Oh, that's a good question. Growing up a USC fan, the one that felt maybe the biggest to me was USC UCLA football this year. That was in the Rose Bowl. There's a lot of good USC UCLA games I got to do. The women's basketball this year, USC was the number 2 team in the country. UCLA was the number 1. They were undefeated. And then Juju Watkins dropped like 50 points, beat UCLA, and then USC was the first team to beat UCLA. That was a big game. Some football ones this year was really cool to see USC go to Michigan. That was the first Big Ten game for them. That was in the Big House, which was the biggest crowd Michigan had ever had. JP will like this one. Maryland beating USC this year. That was not a big game. That one sucked. But
I thought it was great. I loved that
you
one.
Did. Yeah, that was like our third road game in a row where the opposing team stormed the field after they beat us. So the storming of
man, just let us live, dude. We beat USC. Doesn't matter if it's a down year. All right, so Jack, here's what I want to do. We're gonna put you on the spot here.
Okay.
This is obviously a hypothetical because neither of these teams are gonna sniff this. Game 5 NLDS. Skeens is on the mound. James Wood is at the plate. 3-run bomb. I need you to call it for me.
Oh, I don't know if I can do that.
I think you can.
You're putting me on the spot.
I sure am.
Oh, all right. I'm going to try. I will tell you, like inside the mind of a play-by-play broadcaster, that is one of the hardest things to do is to call a play that's not happening.
Really? Well, sorry. Still have to try.
I say the same thing all the time,
it's
man.
Just like, it's so much of a reactionary business to see something happening and describe it as you see it. So I need, you want to give me a little more detail. Where's this ball landing? Where are we at?
It's landing. We're at
deep
Nats
center.
Park.
He hits the middle
Nats
of the curly
Park.
W.
Yeah.
It's a home game. Walk
Into
off.
the curly W.
Yeah.
Well, a walk off. All right.
Yeah. What the hell?
I'm gonna dramatize it a little bit.
Yeah.
And Skeen sets from the belt. Here he comes. Wood cracks it in the air. High in deep center field. Way back. Off the curly W. And the Nats walk it off in game 5.
I like that.
I love it, dude. I love it. I got goosebumps, man. All right, I'm doing another one, and I apologize if this is annoying.
Oh, boy.
But, dude, this is July 2nd content, Jack. You got to understand where we are.
I gotcha.
All right.
Hey, Jack, we talk about this 25 years from now.
I know, dude.
Look, Terry Crews drew a picture for me. He was 27 years old.
Unbelievable.
And I
we got to
sent it
tell
to him
that
yesterday.
story.
He put it on there, and he was now in his 50s. So it's the beginning.
Dude, when Jack's calling Dodger games every night, like, we're going to joke about this.
Yes.
Week 8.
Let me pump the brakes on Dodgers a little bit. I grew up in the Bay Area, so
you're a Giant
But the
fan.
Dodgers going to call you and offer you $45 million a year. Come on.
I think he'd take the Dodgers.
Yeah, maybe you can't turn that down.
All right, last one, Jack. We're going to football.
All right.
Week
Okay.
8, Monday night, Arrowhead. Jaden Daniels at the Kansas City 32, down 4, finds McLaurin back of the end zone
For a TD, baby.
for a touchdown, 8 seconds left.
Okay. What down and distance do we got? Not that it matters with 8 seconds left.
Second and 13.
All right. 2nd and 13 at the Kansas City 32-yard line. Clock winding down for the Commanders. 8 seconds left for Daniels and company. He's in the shotgun. He looks left as he directs McLaurin in motion to the right. Daniels takes the snap. It's a 5-step drop. Pressure in his face. He rolls out to the right. Looks for McLaurin deep. Tosses it back left pylon. He makes the catch. Touchdown, Commanders. Terry McLaurin in the back of the end zone gives Washington the lead at Arrowhead.
That money they gave him in the offseason was necessary.
Dude, that is so good.
Hey, I try.
Dude,
Now you do a good job,
especially
man.
we just threw that at you. Maybe we keep doing this. We'll have you on throughout the summer
Oh, I don't know about
until
that.
football starts.
Hey, ask him how much he paying.
Yeah, I might need a couple dollars for the next one.
All right, we'll see what we can work out. Where are you going, Delmarva? Go to Starboard. We'll have Monty buy you dinner. All right.
No, they get
Sounds
more than
good.
dinner. You go to Monty.
That's true. Jack, man, this
Monty
is
gonna
great.
You guys
Monty
ever
be
been to
throwing,
a-
he be throwing orange crushes at you all day.
Yo, you can't get 2 feet without a fresh orange crush in your hand.
You guys ever been to a minor league baseball game?
Yeah,
I have.
yeah, I have.
We got to get you out to a Fredericksburg game.
I went to what team in Richmond? His name is Squirrels.
Squirrels, yeah.
Yeah, I've been to their games.
Flying Squirrels.
Back when
Their
I mean, you guys gotta
GM is
get
my
out to
guy. He got a bar in his office. So sweet. It's so
The-
You guys
sweet.
got to get out to a Fredericksburg game. I mean, if you look up and down the Nats roster right now, at least the major league roster, you're looking at guys like James Wood, C.J. Abrams, Dalen Lyle. Like a lot of these guys played in Fredericksburg just a couple of years ago. So
What
know,
time are
whether
those,
it's you guys
those
or
games
anybody
normally?
yeah, we might need
What time are the games normally?
helicopter.
Because you got to leave a certain amount of time to go to something in Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
yeah, I got you. Maybe a day off. If it's weekdays, they're normally 6:35, weekends 7:05. But
Okay.
tons of top prospects on the team. I don't know if you guys heard the name Travis Cora.
Yeah.
He's the number 1 Nats prospect. He keeps shooting up the system. I think he's the 30th overall in Major League Baseball right now. He spent the entire last season here and won our league's pitcher of the year. So, whether it's you guys or anybody else, you have a pretty good chance to see the future of the Nats. And a lot of the present Nats are guys that came through Fredericksburg. So that's one of my favorite things about the minor leagues is just seeing all of these guys that, they're the future. And a lot of the guys that were the future a couple of years ago are now the present.
Totally, man. But many years ago, before I was married and had children and stuff, I went and watched Strasburg in Harrisburg and just electric. I went and watched Bryce and Bowie. It was fun, man. Jack, thank you for the time, brother. Really
you,
appreciate
Jack.
it.
Good luck to you, man.
Stay in touch, all right?
Yes, sir. Of course, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right,
All right.
brother. Take care, man.
Give him a follow at Jack Smith PXP.
All right, hey, it's Brian Mitchell and JP here. If you want comfort and convenience wherever life takes you, then you need to reach out to our great friends over at Rude. With Wi-Fi compatibility, you have full control of your heating and cooling system right from your phone. Forgot to turn down the heat before vacation? You can adjust it in mere seconds. Plus, you'll get alerts if something's not right. These guys are the absolute best. I just called them the other day. I had a buddy having a problem. Reached out to Jimbo and Jim. Both of them reached out to him, and they're right now at his house installing their new systems that they're going to love, just like I love mine.
Well, dude, when we had the problem at the beach, I texted Jimbo right away, and he wasn't able to come out there. I was 4 hours away, but immediately he was able to tell me what the problem was. And then when the guy got there, I was like, "Hey, I think it's the drain line." He's like, "Yep, you're right. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but Jimbo sure does." The best part with these Rude systems, they are whisper quiet. Think about the weather in the last week. It's been 100 degrees. Then it gets cold and rainy. No matter what it is, the Rude variable speed compressor ensures precise temperature and humidity control, operating efficiently even in extreme conditions. It's comfort and performance perfectly balanced. You know what we need, B? We need some Rude systems in this office because it is not balanced in here.
No, it's not.
And B, you got to tell them about the cash, man. You can get federal tax credits up to 2 Gs on heat pumps through 2032. Check out rude.com/federal incentives to learn more.
Rude, the most reliable heating and air conditioning products in a DMV. And remember, if it ain't Rude,
it ain't right. All right, I'm about to give away some Adam Sandler tickets, so buckle up. Wow, 67 days till Commanders football. 16 days till Rookies report. I just got an interesting email. I'll try to credit whoever sent me this. Shout out to Bet Online, Jimmy Shapiro. So Bet Online has put together odds for a Super Bowl winner and regular season MVP. Ravens and Lamar are tops with the Bills and Josh Allen at 20-1. Then the Chiefs and Mahomes at 33-1. And then the Commanders, Eagles, and Bengals are all tied at 66-1. Now, obviously, those odds are really high, but that means Washington is tied for the third highest odds with the defending Super Bowl champ. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about, but I also think it's kind of crazy that you get 33-1 with Mahomes and the Chiefs. Or really even 66-1 with the Eagles and Hurts. So listen to this. Mm-hmm. Combined odds of a team winning the Super Bowl and having the regular season MVP. So the Ravens with Lamar and the Bills with Josh Allen are tops at 20-1. Then KC and Mahomes at 33-1. And then the Commanders are one of three teams at 66-1. Mm-hmm. The Bengals and Burrow, the Eagles and Hurts, Washington and Jaden.
Wow.
Right?
I'll take those. Put my money on those guys, all those guys at the 66-1. Because I think that you got a way better chance of that than the other one.
I mean, dude, if you were just going to sprinkle the board and you threw $20 on Jaden, Jalen, Burrow, and Mahomes, like, really, your only concern is another MVP for Allen or Lamar, or if a guy like Goff or Herbert or something goes nuts.
Mm-hmm.
How about this? This is really interesting. There are two running backs that made the list. The Ravens with Derrick Henry at 200-1, and the Eagles and Saquon at 200-1.
But I would not go with that because we know running backs don't get it.
If Saquon didn't get it last year, no running back's ever getting it.
Unless you have 3,000 yards rushing.
Here's something you might enjoy, Brian. There are two running backs with better odds than the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. They got the Cowboys and Dak at 300-1. Same as the Cardinals and Kyler, the Bears and Caleb, the Broncos and Bo Nix, the Rams and Stafford, the Niners and Purdy. Honestly, I wouldn't hate throwing a little money.
I wouldn't put no money on Dak and the Cowboys.
No, but the Rams, 300-1. Put $10 on it. Does that win you 3 G's? I don't know. That's kind of crazy. The Lions landed on here with Jahmyr Gibbs.
Wow.
400-1. The Lions are at 125 with Goff. I think the reality there is a quarterback wins the award. So if you want to chase that running back money, good for you. I did talk to Mike Beasley yesterday. We're going to book him for the last hour of Friday's show to give us Tour de France picks.
All right.
I think it's perfect.
Actually, we can give him the whole last 2 hours.
Maybe we just bring him in for the whole show.
Yeah.
Landfill, are you cool if Bees hosts the last 2 hours on Friday?
Give them all 4.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be here.
I don't mind it.
Here's what we will do. Caller number 9, 800-636-1067. You'll win a pair of tickets to see Adam Sandler, You're My Best Friend tour, Saturday, September 27th at Capital One Arena. Tickets are on sale now. For tickets and more event information, visit thefandc.com/events. On Friday, we're going to be giving away a pair of tickets to go to the Adam Sandler show. I can't joke about that, right? That's a read. Never mind. Friday, nothing's happening. Call now, get the tickets. We'll be right back.
This sports update is brought to you by Paul Henry's Window Installation, your clear home improvement choice. Detroit Pistons shooting guard Malik Beasley was ranked on CBS Sports' number 14 available player as free agency was set to begin. But just one day before the legal tampering period opened, it was reported that Beasley was in potentially some serious trouble. So ESPN is reporting that federal authorities were investigating Beasley on allegations of gambling related to NBA games and prop bets during the 2023-2024 season when he was a member of the Bucks. Beasley and the Pistons were in talks on a new 3-year, $42 million deal, but obviously those have been halted now with these gambling allegations. Speaking of the Bucks, though, the Bucks are waiving Damian Lillard and stretching that remaining $113 million on his contract in order to acquire free agent center Miles Turner. Turner has agreed with the Bucks on a 4-year, $107 million deal that includes a player option for year 4 in 2028-2029 and a full 15% trade kicker. This is another huge move by Milwaukee's front office as Giannis Antetokounmpo considers his future and whether he fits best with the Bucks still. They're doing everything that they can, but Giannis has not given them an answer one way or another. He has made some social media posts, but you're going to be left to decipher those yourself. From the Crop Medcap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on the Fan.
BMitch Finlay, 1067 The Vamp. We got some breaking news. We got the Commanders have announced training camp dates when fans can go. We're going to get into all that, tell you the best times to go, what you should try to hit. Before we go there, though, our friend Mr. Neil Greenberg. Greenberg, appreciate you making time for us on a week where nobody has any time for us. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. I always have time for you and my podcast.
This is now the Neil Greenberg podcast via the BMitch and Finlay program for the next half hour. What's up, man? What are you are an interesting cat. Your brain always goes different places. What are you working on right now?
I am working on NFL alt win totals.
I love that.
All right.
Speak my language. Gambling, football.
What's the number for the NFC East? You got to that yet?
I bet a couple of alt totals this morning. I bet the Steelers under 8.5 at plus 100. I bet the Vikings under 8.5.
Let's start there.
Oh,
Steelers
yeah.
under 8.5.
Yeah.
You're not buying what they're selling up there, huh?
No, I'm not. I think this is it. I think we know what Aaron Rodgers is at this point, and that's a declining quarterback. I think the Steelers have done a lot with a little. I think Mike Tomlin has had an extraordinary run. I'm not buying into it, especially not at plus money. So I think that the Steelers are going to be under 500, and I want to put my money where my mouth is.
Did we lose Neil?
No.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Sorry, dude. That would be the first time ever for Tomlin to go under 500. I tell you what's crazy, though, yesterday we had our friend Alan Saunders on that covers the Steelers, and he sounded like sort of optimistic, but also sort of confused by like a very un-Pittsburghian offseason. If you want to listen to that interview with Alan, check it out wherever you get podcasts, Spotify or whatever.
What I heard from Alan yesterday, Alan knows there's going to be some issues, but Alan was trying to be positive. That's what I heard from Alan yesterday.
Yeah. But dude, so Greenberg, B and I were in Erie, freaking Pennsylvania for a couple days.
I think that's a road trip movie waiting to happen.
Nah, it won't be happening in Erie.
Nah, man. That's my first and only trip to Erie.
It could happen in Erie at this time of the year, but it will never happen anywhere at the end of September on.
Nah, I left hand up. I don't think I'm ever going back to Erie. Period. But we were in Steelers country. A lot of folks up there seem frustrated with Mike Tomlin, which I get it. Bobby Bowden got fired. Like, people get fired eventually, but Tomlin's a G as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here's a little peek behind the curtain. Another story I'm working on. I'm working on coaches on the hot seat, and I have Tomlin on the hottest seat of 2025.
Really?
I think he's the most likely coach to get fired. Yeah.
So they bring in Aaron Rodgers knowing he's going to screw things up so they can have a reason to fire him?
I think it's more like a Hail Mary. Like, this is our chance to actually, this is our best chance to win a playoff game. It's not that Tomlin has a poor-ish regular season. It's just they haven't won a playoff game since, 2016, 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Wild card flame outs if they make the playoffs at all. I think at some point you have to pull the plug on that. Being over 500 is okay, but let's face it. I mean, you're not going to be taken seriously in the NFL landscape if you're not going to be a playoff threat. And I think that this is just a Hail Mary type thing. You get a guy like Rodgers in. There's a lot of good feelings about the trades that they made, getting Jalen Ramsey and Jono Smith. But I just think that this is the end of the line, and I'm always willing to zag when other people are zigging.
Hey, man, me and you both. Jeff had the ultimate zig yesterday. He thinks A.J. Johnson of the Wizards is going to be a Supermax player. All right, so let's keep this going. We're talking with our friend Neil Greenberg here on the Rude Guest Hotline.
Yeah.
Bear counter.
Nobody else knows who he is.
Rude makes the most reliable heating and air conditioning products in the DMV. Of course, you can read all of Greenberg's work at the Washington Post. Listen to his podcast right here on BMitch Finlay every Wednesday at 11. All right, so you're fading the Steelers. Who's the next fade?
Vikings under 8.5 plus 140.
Why? I like JJ.
I'm not a big believer in the Vikings. I think they've gotten very fortunate over the past couple of years. They're in a really tough division with Detroit, Green Bay. Chicago will be better. I just think that, you look at Minnesota and they're not a 14-win team. I mean, I know they won 14 games, but they're just not. Yeah, they're just not they don't worry me. Like I said, a better division, a little bit less fortunate bounces. I think it's a great price for them to be under 8.5 plus 140. I'm more than willing to take that risk reward proposition.
You don't buy that the defense could stay really good?
I'm not necessarily worried about the defense. I'm worried about the division. I'm worried about, how are they going to keep pace in a division that one of the teams got a lot better. Another team, was a Super Bowl contender. And then I think Green Bay gets a little bit better with Jordan Love getting an extra year of work. So I just think it's going to be tougher for them to excel being in that division.
And we look at JJ. You like JJ, I like JJ, but still, it's going to be his first time going out there really playing football for a whole year in the NFL.
Yeah,
and he's going to be basically having his rookie season this year.
And they got some tough games, outside the division. They got to play Philadelphia. They got to play Baltimore. They got to play the Commanders. I mean, those aren't gimmies. The Commanders aren't a gimme anymore. Philadelphia obviously is very good, and Baltimore is very good. So when you look at the division and just those three games in general, that's a tough slate of games to have to deal with. I think that it's okay to be pessimistic with Minnesota.
Interesting. All right, you got any overs?
I do.
Okay,
just one. Giants over 5.5 at plus 118. I think this is strictly the NFL has parity. I think that the Giants, the worst teams in football, really shouldn't lose more than like 4 games, maybe 5 games. So you only really just need like one weird game for them to swing it to this bet's favor. I know a lot of people are down on them. I know that they're not a very good football team, but even non-good football teams tend to win 4 or 5 games. And I think the Giants could be one of those. At least I'm willing to take some plus money to worry about it.
Okay.
Where are the Commanders sitting?
I don't. I looked for value on the Commanders, and I just couldn't find value. I'm not saying that they're not going to be. That
You're trying to make money.
I'm trying to make money, right? Yeah, but I have Washington. Probably winning 9 or 10 games next year, and we've talked about this before. I think a 10-win season against the schedule that they have would be an improvement over last year. I know it's not going to be an improvement in the win column, but I think overall as a team, if they can win 10 games against this schedule, I think that is a step forward based on what they did last year.
Talking with our friend Neil Greenberg here on the Rude Guest Hotline. When do you start looking at like fantasy numbers and player props for the seasons and everything?
Yeah, I'm looking at those now. Actually, I'm starting to get my fantasy stuff together. If you look right now, wide receivers are very, very popular in the first round of point per reception leagues. There could be as many as 5 or 6 going in the first round alone. I think that's bold. I think that's aggressive. The drop off in running backs is tremendous in terms of who you can rely on to get the ball and be a part of the offense. And then once you get past those, going into the committee roles and touchdown vultures and things like that. So I personally think guys like Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs are the plays. I'm down on Saquon Barkley. I'm down on Christian McCaffrey. I'm down on Derrick Henry. But I think that you're better off going for some running backs early and then supplementing with some wide receivers later.
Where are you with the Niners in general?
I have the Niners as having the best chance to go from worst to first in their division. I don't think that's necessarily a secret. I like them as a whole. I am worried that McCaffrey, how healthy is McCaffrey going to be? And that's another division that had a lot of parity last year, right? 10 wins won the division. San Francisco had 6 wins with a lot of injury concerns. So I think if they're healthy, they're going to be fine. That's a big if, though. I mean, Christian McCaffrey has shown that he can miss some time, and then the offense just kind of seems to fall apart there. So I think that San Francisco should be considered a divisional winning threat. I mean, that's certainly the case. I don't think that they're going to be a Super Bowl contender like most people, including my in-laws who are from the Bay Area. And if they're listening, I'm going to be in some trouble. But I think that San Francisco is a playoff contender, and we'll have to see how their health is before I can pencil them in.
How
any
much
further.
longer does their window stay open, though?
That's a good question.
Constructed.
That's a good question. I think only a year, maybe 2, right? Because kind of just talked about it. If McCaffrey is brittle, and if the offense suffers more because of no Deebo Samuel, and if Brock Purdy takes any sort of step back, like those are 3 huge elements, 3 huge dominoes that can really hurt the offense. And then you're relying a lot on the defense, but we know in today's NFL, offense carries a lot of the freight. So I think those are 3 significant touchstones that they're going to have to navigate in order to remain competitive, not only in the division but in the league at large.
Talking with our friend Neil Greenberg here on the Rude Guest Hotline. Of course, you can follow Greenberg at @ngreenberg and read his work in the Washington Post. Can we switch to baseball real quick?
Sure.
Tigers are in town. The Nats are just falling apart, frankly. Tigers are awesome. And the kid Scooble they have is awesome. I assume he is very much the front runner for the Cy Young in the AL. Is it too much to say he's the best pitcher in the majors, even knowing Paul Skeens is out there and others?
I think you can make a case for it. I certainly think that he's going to be the Cy Young. I mean, he's certainly the Cy Young favorite right now. He's just really good. I mean, kind of flashes of Greg Maddux there. He's just, just dominating in terms of win above replacement, not just among pitchers, but like on the overall, on the overall depth chart in terms of most valuable players. He's fourth behind Judge, Raleigh, and Ohtani in that regard. Anytime you have a pitcher that's kind of in the MVP conversation, you got to take notice. But yeah, I think that he's probably the best pitcher in the majors right now, certainly in the American League. And, Skeens is kind of in a three-way race, I think, with Logan Webb and Zach Wheeler for best pitcher in the NL. I don't think the second-year guy in Pittsburgh is a lock for the Cy Young in the NL either. So yeah, I think you got to give it to Scooble.
And then I wanted to ask the Mets. I take great pleasure in the Mets falling apart, largely because I have so many Mets fan friends. The Mets are kind of falling apart. 3-7 in their last 10. Get us up to speed. I don't think falling apart's the right term. They are just imploding into a dumpster fire on the Hindenburg. I mean, they are. I mean, it's bad. I mean, they're getting destroyed, right? I mean, the last three games. They just got swept by the Pirates.
But not only swept, I mean, they were decimated. They couldn't get any offense going. There's a lot of worries about Soto, but that worry obviously was misplaced. You got to worry about everything else. And I liken this to kind of the Braves of the 90s, and how that pitching rotation was structured. It was structured in a way that you didn't have those type of stretches, right? Like they didn't lose many series. They certainly didn't have many back-to-back losing games with the trio of Maddox, Smoltz, and Glavine. The Mets don't have that. They're built largely on offense. They have a decent rotation, but certainly not a powerhouse rotation by any stretch. And if the offense goes cold, like they have nothing to back it up. So yeah, I mean, it's been a dismal since the middle of June. Like the Mets have just been absolutely awful. And these games count. They're 2 games behind Philadelphia right now. They could be in a lot of trouble if they don't figure it out very soon. But so far, they have looked just absolutely terrible.
It's
White Brian over there crying now.
White Brian just texted us. They were outscored 20-4.
Isn't that your team, Brian?
A 3-game series. That's
your team, right?
Yeah. I'd rather you mishandle my walk-up song than keep repeating that stat.
Are the Cubs for real?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're seeing a lot of real teams. I mean, obviously Detroit, Chicago Cubs. There's no real division races right now, right? The only division races are in the AL
NL
and NL
East is kind of there.
East and maybe the Central, right? But the rest of them are all locked up. I think Chicago is pretty good. I actually like St. Louis. I know that they're not. They seem to be a little bit behind, but I think St. Louis can be sneaky good and start to crawl back in here. But yeah, I think that Chicago is for real.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a long season that we're just crossed halfway, right? Like, a lot can obviously happen. I think baseball. I don't say this lightly because I think they were so dumb for so long, but I think baseball with the expanded wild cards, I think the pitch clock above everything. I think baseball has made such good rule changes over the last decade that have really, really helped the sport.
Well, it's made it more watchable, right? I mean, it's made it more watchable, and it's kept teams in contention longer. So you put those two things together, and you start to engage the fans longer and more broadly, right? Like they're not They're not completely scoffing at watching a game because they don't have to invest 3.5 hours. And, they can root for their team a little bit longer. They don't have to worry about looking towards the winner earlier and earlier. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think baseball is trying to become relevant. And really, their only competition right now is the WNBA. So they should be able to get a lion's share of the viewers because of how popular baseball is across a wide range of demographics.
And then quickly, Cap stuff. Faravari gets a big deal. They have lost some guys. They lost Lars Eller, right? Among others. What do you think of the Caps offseason so far?
I think it's been good. I think they drafted a lot of guys with upside. Their most recent first-round pick, I think, could be a good depth player in Washington with the pro club. I do think they have a glut at winger. You'd like to see him be a little bit, use his size a little bit more. I think the trades that they made were good. They're certainly trying to keep the window open with Ovechkin on possibly his last year. So, yeah, I think Washington has done pretty well considering. I think next year is going to be the big year with so much money available and perhaps a really big hole in their lineup to fill if Ovechkin does hang it up. But, yeah, I think Washington's done really well. I like their draft a lot. I think they've made some smart moves in free agency, and, they're just trying to figure out what life's going to be like once number 8 hangs them up.
Greenberg, thank you as always for the time. Have a great 4th of July weekend, man.
Enjoy yourself, man.
You too. Be safe. Don't blow off any fingers.
It's a good idea. Yep. Thank you, buddy.
I'll try not to.
All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.
That's our boy Neil Greenberg. You can follow him.
Somebody else's fingers, not mine.
He's trying to blow up people's fingers. You can follow Neil at N Greenberg. When we come back, I imagine they're among the last teams to do this, if not the last team. The Commanders have announced their open dates for fans to come to training camp. We'll tell you when they are and how many there are. Nobody go anywhere. It's BMitch Finlay.
This sports update is brought to you by Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Iced Tea and Lemonade. It's been over a decade since the NHL sent players to compete in the Winter Olympics. Following a monumentous agreement between the NHL, the Players Association, the International Olympic Committee, and the International Ice Hockey Federation, lots of people involved in this one, the best hockey players in the world will return to Olympic action in 2026. The Big Four entities signed that deal that seals NHL players returning to the Winter Olympics, meaning that they are going to be able to participate in the upcoming games in Milan. The last time that NHL players participated in the 2014 games, Canada took home the gold medal after defeating Sweden. This also means, though, that they can participate beyond the 2026 Winter Olympics. This decision also says they can compete in the 2030 games in the French Alps. There is nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. Look for the can with the sunset stripes. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly. From the Crop Medcap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on the Fan.
BMitch Finlay, 1067 The Fan. We got news. We got news and we got a report. We got actual news. Commanders have announced training camp dates open to fans. And we got a report about alternate uniforms, when they'll be released, including a new alternate helmet. Let's start with the news. The Commanders sent out an email. This is official, baby. Listen to this, B, and tell me the salespeople aren't moving the unit over there. Washington Commanders 2025 training camp supported by Cornerstone Partners, Bank of America, Clark Construction, and Pepsi to be held at Ortho Virginia Training Center at Commanders Park in Ashburn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading 4 different sponsors for training camp.
In one release.
And that's before you get to the specific days.
That just tell you people were not dealing with the other dude.
Doesn't hurt when you get a star quarterback either.
Mm-hmm.
The Commanders will host 3 open practices for all fans and 3 additional open practices for season ticket members from July 27th to August 4th. Fans can claim their free tickets now, today, right now. If you go to the website, I think you can get tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're listening to us and you want to go, you better go.
Go get them now.
Because this is,
don't call us later.
There's not a lot of them. So, all right, here's where this thing lands. 3 open practices for all fans. Anybody can go. July 27th, July 29th, and August 2nd. That is 3 dates early on.
None of the
camp.
rookie camps.
What's that?
The rookie stuff gets no one. They go at 18th.
Yeah. This will be the full team.
Yeah.
3 open practices, the 27th, the 29th of July, and August 2nd. Then there are 3 practices exclusively for season ticket members in select membership types on July 28th, July 31st, and August 4th. All practices will begin at 9 a.m. and are subject to change. You can get the tickets now. So seriously, if you're looking for tickets, you can get them right now.
Yep.
In an effort to accommodate as many fans as possible, fans can claim a maximum of 6 tickets and 1 parking pass for 1 day of training camp. All parking will be on site, and all fans must have a parking pass to access the lot. Gates will open at 8 a.m. Parking lots open at 7:30 a.m.
Right.
There will also be an open practice with the Patriots 10:15 a.m. on August 6th in Foxborough, Massachusetts. If you want to go to that, check out the Patriots website. Here are the specialty days. July 27th is Back Together Weekend. That one is open to all fans. That's the first open practice, Sunday, July 27th. The team will host various family-friendly activations, including the Commanders Kids Zone, Washington Legends meet and greets, appearances by Major Tuddy, the Command Force, giveaways, and much more. I'm guessing there might be a check coming for one Washington legend sharing the prison cell studio. Sign some autographs?
Always sign.
You do. You always sign. Kids Day will be Sunday, August 2nd. The Commanders will host a kid zone dedicated to children's activities.
You see a lot of smiles that day.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Including Play 60 activations, face painting, and balloon artists. My kids love balloon artists and face painting. Then you've got Military Appreciation Day, presented by USAA. Now, this is not among the other 6, I believe.
So those are extras?
Military Appreciation Day is Sunday, August 10th. I'm curious. All right, so the Washington Salute, the official military appreciation club of the Washington Commanders, will invite thousands of local service members, veterans, and their families to Ashburn for an exclusive day at training camp on Sunday, August 10th.
All right.
So that's cool. At least Military Day
They'll
is
have
also
multiple
one of the other
days for different people. Not, I think that's what it seems like.
Of the season ticket membership days, Ultra membership is Monday, July 28th. Business Network membership is Thursday, July 31st. And Friends and Family membership is Monday, August 4th. I guess if you are a season ticket member, you will get a specific email about how to claim your ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Let's-
I already got them.
Yeah, let's do this live. Jeff, put your headphones on. Go to Commanders. See if you can get tickets for any of the 3 open days right now. Commanders.com/training camp. This opened at 11 a.m. I got the press release at 11 a.m. My guess is these joints are sold out already. It's 11:38 a.m. I want to open the phone lines up. 800-636-1067. 800-636-1067. Commanders have announced their training camp dates. 3 practices open to everybody. 3 open to season ticket members. A separate practice will be open for military. And then if you want, or if you live in the New England area, you might be able to go watch the practice against the Patriots. Jeff, once you get on there, let me know how it's going. Can we get tickets? Where are you, Jeff?
Right now, I'm proving that I'm not a robot.
Okay.
Well, I have questions about that.
See, I can see Jeff as an alien, not a robot. There's not a computer program in the mind.
There are actually
alien.
tickets left,
Okay, great.
He's a
especially
robotic
for opening
alien.
weekend.
Okay, great. So there's still tickets available. Phone lines are open. 800-636-1067. I have my thoughts. I'll let you open, B. 3 practices open to the public, 3 for season ticket members, and that's it.
I'm cool with that. I mean, they're there to get ready for a football game. Get ready for football season.
When you were doing camp, how much of it was Carlisle was always open, wasn't it?
I don't think it was open every practice. But, you had fans around. But, I mean, I guess, listen, you know me. I believe training camp should be away. I just think there's something special that happens when you're away from being able to go home and be around your people all the time. I just believe that.
So the Commanders are towards the bottom of what teams do now, but they're not at the bottom. I believe the Eagles only have 1. Let's
They won the Super Bowl last
load
year.
these
They did
phones
not.
up if we can, Jeff. I think there's a lot of ways to do this, a lot of ways to handle it. I think if it was up to Dan Quinn, they would go away. He has said that repeatedly.
I'm with you on that one, Dan.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think they would get more out of going away. I think some fans will be frustrated they can't go to every or more. I hope the fans.
The thing, though, is like, why does anyone need to be at every practice? But the only people who need to be at every practice is the players.
So I have a number of reactions, right?
Mhm.
I think for some fans, getting to training camp because it's free is their only opportunity, right? I think the barrier to entry.
Jay, I hear that, but I go to training camp and I see the people that I see at every damn thing.
Well, those are hardcore fans,
But
too, right?
But they're there all the time. The same people. So it's not necessarily the guys that just could go free that's going there.
I think it's a mix. I think there are some fans that go to everything, period, and they would go to more practices. I think there are some people that go because they can take their kids and it's free and they can't necessarily do it for a game. I think there are some people that go just to get autographs. I think
I see a lot of them.
I think there are some people that go because it's a more laid-back atmosphere. It's very different than a game. I know a number of things because I've been going to these training camps forever. In Richmond, it was always open. At various times in Ashburn, it's been open.
But Ashburn it is so congested when you have fans out there.
It really is.
That they can't just do it all the time.
I think especially they have so much construction going on out there that sources have told me that they're going to have it all done for camp. But I also know in construction, sometimes things go longer and sometimes things change, right? We don't know what that's going to look like, but it sure looks like they'll have it all done. But to have fans there with construction going on is just a lot. And yeah, they have a lot of parking in that grass area, but at the same time, man, it does get really congested. I think the players enjoy it, but I think if I had to really guess, not that DQ doesn't love having players there, fans at camp, I think they like to focus on the football.
Yeah.
And when the fans are there, I am zero surprised that as training camp goes on and it gets into real installations and the depth chart starts kind of working its way out, that it's all done.
Because, they can control the media posting stuff. They can't control those fans posting stuff. And, every fan wants to be the content creator now. And they're out there showing everything going on. So if you have to control it some type of way, you have to just not allow everyone out there.
And I would also add, I don't know if you agree with this, but the amount of season ticket memberships that are now available, like it's not necessarily that cost prohibitive to be a season ticket member in some capacity. And there's also, dude, when they had everything open, now granted they didn't have much infrastructure, and this was a couple of years ago during the real darkest days of the organization. It was empty. Yeah. It was empty, man. And it was such a bad look. I remember Nicky Jabala took a picture that went super viral of just the sidelines being butt empty. Now, this was the end of the Dan days, the Ron days. You're trying to roll out. I don't even know who it would have been at that point, like Heineke or Wentz or whoever. There just wasn't much excitement. This year, there is a ton of excitement, but you create more excitement by having a finite product. And
100%.
I am not surprised. I kind of, when everybody else had been announcing their dates and Washington was kind of holding off, I kind of thought they were holding off to not keep it under the radar, but when you're only announcing 3 true open to the public days, you might not want to go first.
Yeah.
Let the Cowboys say all 17 are open.
Hey, man.
We're going to look around the league, how this compares.
I ultimately care about how they perform when they get on the field.
I know that that's where you land. Yeah. I don't know that that's where everybody lands.
Everybody don't have to land there.
We'll be right back. It's BMitch Finlay. Yesterday's got nothing for me. Ow! Shout out to Axl Rose. All right. Commanders will have 3 practices open to the public and another 3 training camp practices open to season ticket members. Landville, what do you think?
They should have more.
Would you go?
Are you going to go to any of them?
Oh, absolutely not.
Until you go, then we don't need you to be telling us what they need more of.
I think Landville speaks for the people. I think there are people that wish there were more. Now, apparently, they're unable to call in right now because I would take their call. Looking around the league, the Commanders are definitely towards the bottom in open practices. They're not at the bottom, though, because Philly does 1.
Okay.
I just did.
Philly used to do a lot when I was there, too.
The Broncos will have 13 open practices. The Saints will have 9 practices before they go to California. The Bengals will hold 8 practices. The Cowboys have everything open, but they're also in Southern California. So, like, are you really serving your fans with that?
Nope. They're getting all the people that are outside of their area and trying to just make some other money. That's what they're doing with Jerry.
Well, I think they also like the weather. But, yeah, sure. Jerry's making them a national team. The Falcons will have 11 practices open during training camp. I think less is more, dude, honestly. I think create scarcity, make it a big deal, make it more fun. I recognize that maybe some fans won't be able to get there, but if you're listening to us, Jeff just tried, and you could get tickets.
Yeah.
I think let us know how you think. 3 open practices. You can get tickets right now. I imagine they'll be gone pretty quick, but I think for football operations, it's better, honestly.
Well,
I think for straight football, it's better.
As far as not having a lot of people there?
Yeah.
I mean, but the whole thing about it, I understand people want more, but you have them at every practice. Some people want to be at every practice. Some people want to be in the damn meetings. You can't do it.
You definitely can't do that.
You got to eventually get to a point where you focus on just getting ready for football.
I agree, man. You do have to get a ticket off the website. And hell, you can go to Boston if you want. Watch practice up there. I don't know that people will do that, but you could.
Oh, there's going to be some people on the road. They'll be happy to do that.
Well, dude, there's also just fans in New England. There's Commanders fans up there.
Yeah.
Chris is in Culpeper. Chris, what do you think about the training camp schedule, dude?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Not much.
Great topic. Just thinking about it. Everybody's getting together. It's so hot outside. I think they're trying to cut it back a little bit just to be on the safe side. Just extreme heat, I could see why they could do that a little bit, but it's not as good for the fans because they want to be out there more, so I can understand that a little bit. But I also wanted to let you guys know this. Just saw it on Reddit, July 9th. We were releasing our new jersey and helmet. You can see it. They just put it out there, sent everything to my son and let him know, so I just wanted to let y'all know about that as well. I'm so excited. Thank you all.
Right, man.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, buddy. I think that's totally fair. Dude, here's the good news. Back in the day when things were awful, the marketing department had far too much say over the football department. That is not the case now.
Yep.
More practices is not necessarily good for the team. Now, we do also have uniform news. You'll hear that when we return. It's BMitch Finlay.
This sports update is brought to you by PVI Office Furniture. Fast, excellent, affordable. Business grows with PVI. After previously breaking the news that the Washington Commanders will reveal new alternate or throwback helmets this summer, SportsLogos.net now has a date for this unveiling. Their sources have indicated that the Washington Commanders will be the first to reveal a new alternate helmet and jersey on July 9th. That is coming from SportsLogos.net. Now, a recent report from Kevin Sheehan on Team 980 suggests that they're going to resemble their Redskins era uniforms and will become a part of a full uniform redesign in 2026. 2 weeks ago, a leaked photo of Jaden Daniels on an official photo shoot. It was him with a Roman spear. It's suggesting that this might be a throwback logo uni with a new twist potentially. So this all is starting to come together July 9th, reportedly, when we're going to get that new update. And the Nationals have a split doubleheader on deck after the rainout postponed the series opener with the Tigers. That's coming up right here on the Fan 106.7. Make sure you stay dialed in right here to listen to not one, but two Nats games today. Looking to upgrade your office game? At PVI, we'll come to you to design the perfect office space for your team. No hassle, no stress, just a game-changing upgrade. Hit a grand slam with PVI Office Furniture when you call today to score 15% off your purchase. Get your office in championship shape at pvi.com. From the Crop Medcap 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on the Fan.
High noon in the District of Columbia. Points north, south, east, and west. Interesting stuff out there regarding Commanders to unveil a new alternate uniform, which will include a helmet, a new helmet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is a big surprise, honestly.
Well, you said it already.
Josh Harris, when they did their end of the season wrap up in early February after the NFC Championship loss, came out and said, I think the owner has been very clear that the name is not changing. I think folks got to understand that and get past it. He said the Commander's name means something in our building now. You've heard DQ, AP say that. Players, if you're a 21-year-old kid that just got drafted to Washington, I mean, you probably don't even remember a lot of this stuff. Like, that's just the reality. They're just here to play.
It didn't happen yesterday. Most of these guys that they don't know.
Right.
Happened.
I mean, it was 2019.
Yeah.
6 years ago. But back in February, Josh Harris said, as far as rebranding and bringing our past, which obviously I grew up with, all the Super Bowl championships, and our future together, you're going to see us head back towards honoring our past and bringing it together with our future.
Mm-hmm.
News has emerged from sportslogos.net, which I think is on top of this sort of stuff, that the Commanders will unveil these jerseys July 9th, which is what, a week from today? So next Wednesday? Folks will be fired up about that.
We know.
I will be fired up to be on vacation.
I'm coming to work in my jersey.
This one here.
Do you not have any old jerseys?
I do. I have old jerseys and I have some new jerseys.
So just wear the old ones. And that's what the new
I didn't
alternate
tell
is
you
probably going to
what
look
jersey
just like
I was
it.
wearing. I just said I'm coming to work in my jersey. You'll be surprised if I pop up with a BMitch jersey.
He won't.
I don't think you have a
You didn't know who
jersey.
BMitch was when you started working with him. So you damn sure don't
But
have
I
one there.
learned. You can't tell me look in the past and then when I finally embrace it, you get
Well, it's
mad
kind
at
of hard
me.
to get one, so I'm not getting mad. They don't mad about it. I'm just saying you don't have one.
Matter of fact, how much for one of your jerseys? Let's bid right now.
Off of my wall?
Yep.
Oh man, you got to start about 8,000.
I was going to say 10.
I'm gonna start at, I like to just build it up a little bit.
So the biggest thing that's going to, I think, come from this is what, if anything, will they do with the helmet? Because I think these new alternates are just going to look like the old dope uniforms. And I've been pretty clear. I don't really like the new uniforms. I think they bastardized the colors. I kind of like the black ones. It's just something different. I'd love to keep the black ones and just go back to the old classic ones, but they're going to keep these and then reintroduce the old one, basically. I don't know. I wonder, because it's one uniform, if they roll out the old burgundy. Personally, I'd rather them roll out the old white, because I think the current burgundy and gold Commanders jerseys, I don't mind. I think the white ones look like a Louisville Cardinal alternate jersey. Like they just.
I used to like the white with the burgundy pants back in the day.
Yeah, that
That's
guys
what
wore.
I loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big debate, I guess. The big debate is what the new alternate helmet will look like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you agree. I'm curious. I do not think they're going to put the old logo on a helmet. Do you?
No. I don't think that's happening.
I don't either. Now, there's a lot of talk about maybe the spear, like a spear. Maybe it's not that spear.
And I think that's, you keep hearing that pop up, That could be something.
Well, as you watch some of the social media stuff they've rolled out, like officially the team, it seemed like, so when they did their gladiator shoot, they do a big photo shoot for the whole team. Everybody comes in, and enough of those pictures have emerged, and there's one with Jaden holding a spear.
I was there that day.
Right. The motif, if you will, to me, looked like Roman, like gladiators, like the Colosseum. Everything was in the Roman numerals. And you know what Russell Crowe had in Gladiator?
A spear.
A spear. So I think you can get to a place where maybe there's a spear, and maybe that really ties things back to what, I think Sonny Jurgensen wore a spear helmet. I remember the throwbacks when Darryl Green was wearing it. Like, if you can get to a spear helmet and you make clear that this is the Commander spear, this is not tied to Native American folklore, I think you can land in that space, and I think folks will be thrilled in that space.
I agree.
And I think you got smart people running things. If the five of us could sit here and kind of figure that out, I think the really highly paid professionals can figure this out.
Yeah.
They're not going to roll out a new version of the W. I know that much.
Nah.
Saeed is on the line. Saeed, you fired up about training camp and uniforms?
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. And I think there's two really important things to note about that is that, number one, a lot of teams, they just open the gates and you bring your chair in and you sit on the sidelines and you watch the, players train. Like, at least the Commanders go all out and they make it like a festival. They have activities and things like that. So I think that's what really makes it cool. And then the second thing is, I still have PTSD when, like, BMitch had to tell us, don't worry, when Rivera's team gets to the regular season, it won't look like practice, because we'd come into practices and we'd be like, this is horrible. And we try to, look at all the different plays saying, this must be really vanilla. I'd much rather we get to see them 3-4 times, let them practice their hardest where we're not there and practice all the plays and not be all vanilla, than for us to have access every single day. Let them do what they do behind the scenes, and then we get to see amazing stuff on Sundays. And, Philly's doing it. Yeah.
All right,
well,
brother.
that goes.
Appreciate
Good call,
that.
Saeed. Thanks, dude. I agree. I think there's definitely a reason. Phone lines are open.
Was that Ahmed's cousin?
800-636-1067. What'd you say?
Doesn't Ahmed have a cousin named Saeed? And he's a fan, too.
He has he may. I know he has a cousin named Samir.
I know Samir. Yes,
Yeah.
right. Samir. It's hard S.
I definitely don't think it's a coincidence that all of the open practices are very early in camp. Because early on, you're not putting in third down red zone, right? And that doesn't mean they won't run red zone drills and 2-minute drills and all that stuff, but
I know. I see where you're coming from.
I think early on, okay, we got fans here. They can post videos whenever they want. Cool. But I think there'll be a lot. These dudes are about football. And I think.
And I love it.
I got a guy arguing with me on Twitter that I don't. So
ban him.
This, I'm happy to engage. I don't agree with this dude. He says DQ can hate fans and fan days all he wants. Without fans, there is no football. Days like you said, you could go. Nobody hates fans, dude. That's not what this is about.
That dude is an absolute idiot that you're talking to right there. Nobody said anybody hate anything, but every coach, even Coach Gibbs, did not want fans around. Coach Gibbs thought everybody was giving away the secrets. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to get rid of it.
BMitch Finlay, 106.7 The Fan. I'm going to take line one. There we go. D is in D.C. D, what do you think about training camp and maybe some new unis?
BMitch Finlay, what up?
What's up, brother?
Hey, man, I was just thinking, like, we got the old Warriors crew in here on this marketing thing here. So, like the Golden State Warriors. So their whole rebrand was, little people know that they used to be like Native American tied as well. And they changing it up to this bleak little just, Warriors W and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's a little bleak for me going the Roman numerals and Roman background. But, hopefully we can get Terry signed before training camp and, my mind will be at ease. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Thanks, dude. Terry signing is far more important. Yeah. Andre's in Alexandria. What up, Dre?
Hey, how you doing, guys? BMitch and JP.
What up, brother?
Before you nail me, JP, I was trying to get through with BMitch when y'all was talking about Debo Samuels. I couldn't get through, and I just had to. It was killing me. I had to get my opinion in. And BMitch is a competitive guy, just like Debo Samuel is. Now, BMitch, if someone tells you you fat and you out of shape, and they're going to destroy BMitch, or they ain't got to worry about BMitch because he can't catch punts, he can't play running back, quarterback. The type of competitive BMitch is, and I believe Samuel's the same, they're going to do everything they can to shut your mouth and embarrass you when you disrespected them. So all those Eagle fans that's talking all that
all right, Dre, that's all well and good. What do you think of 3 training camp practices?
I could care less. It don't matter what the fans think. It doesn't matter what the team do when they get out there. So the fans doesn't really matter to me.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for the call, bud.
I'm a ball player myself, B-Mitch.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Our boy Los from Severna Park. Los, what do you think about camp and unis?
Unis, I can't wait, even though I got like all kinds of Redskins Commanders uniforms and all that. Training camp, I got tickets for the public. I got tickets for the 27th of July, but I'm nervous because I want to go to the military one. Last year we were waiting on an email, but email never got out. So I can't wait for that one. I'm nervous, but I'm excited, man. Listen, anything to get the fans riled up, give the people what they want. They want this. I don't care. Let's just go out and have fun.
The people want a winning team, don't they, Los?
Amen. A winning team.
Let's give them that.
They
give
finally got it.
Yeah, let's keep giving them that. I guarantee they'll be a lot happier.
Says, I'm there too.
Let them come to all practices and don't win. See what the hell they say.
We saw that for a while. Thank you, Los. Appreciate you, buddy. Yep. Hey, Los, you still there?
Yeah.
How many Skins/Commanders jerseys do you own?
Ooh, okay, well, listen, I think I got like 7 Sean Taylor jerseys by itself. Hey. Yeah, 7
Sean Taylor jerseys?
Yeah. So there's the burgundy and gold Sean Taylor, the military Sean Taylor, the alternative Sean Taylor. What else? I got the shadow Sean Taylor. I don't got a Commanders Sean Taylor one, and then I know there's one more. Oh, the all mustard Sean Taylor one as well. So
that's a lot.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, Sean Taylor. The next one is going to be Jane Daniels. Believe that.
All right, there you go. Thank you, Los. Take care, buddy.
Peace.
Let's try Elijah. Elijah, you good with the training camp uniform news?
Hey, man, I'm good with it. Hey, man, they know what they're doing. Based off of last year, I feel like at this point, there's not too many things that we can question or how they're moving until the tendencies and different things that they're moves that they're making. We just got to sit back and be happy, man. Whatever we get, I'd rather, like Main Man said a few calls ago, I'd rather get one practice if they're going to say, man, we trying to get this trophy. We need y'all to go home so we can get down to business. And if you can't get behind that, then you're not really down with the squad, right? So I'm happy they got everything going right. Debo going to look good, man. No, I don't think there's going to be an underneath defender or linebacker or a very small crew of linebackers that are going to be able to handle him and stick with him and turn their hips and follow him up the seam. And a lot of these stuff is fear-based. Look at the tape. You saw what he did to Philly. Let them let the big boys start mixing and meshing and got offensive linemen running this way, offensive linemen running that way. Okay, we see you soon. We all right. So, man, we in good shape, y'all. You know what time it is.
That's
Appreciate you, Elijah. Eric in Fairfax. What's up, E?
Hey, thanks for taking the call here. So I think I speak for most like Redskins fans when we said like when the rebrand happened, it was like we were so frustrated because it was the most botched, like easiest rebrand they could have done, but they made it like everything that could have gone wrong, they did. And so what I mean by that is most of us all know that the Redskin name is not coming back. We're kind of past that. But like we're angry that the rebrand kind of made us look like a totally like new team, a new franchise. And so it's like we're all screaming like just come up with a name that starts with the letter R. So you still have the cursive R helmet or logo, as well as you still have HTTR, a hashtag. And it just seems like they just overhauled everything and didn't even think about that. It felt like you can change the name, but still have homage to the old, have the same uniforms, have the same colors, design, still have like the cursive R helmet, the spear, still have the HTTR. And it seems like that would have been the most easiest, smoothest rebrand. And they just totally botched it, in my opinion.
Dude,
we have a whole new team of people now. I think we got to get past what they did and worry about what the crew right now is doing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I think I think what Eric said is right. And I think what B said is right. Like, did they mess it up? Yes. Was that now 4 seasons ago and there's new ownership and nothing but like good things on the horizon? Yes. So I think by this group trying to bring back a classic uniform is another step in like, all right, man, let's all just move forward. What do you always say, B?
Right.
The windshield, not the rear view?
Yeah, windshield, not the rear view mirror.
Yeah, no, I fully trust, like the previous caller said, like I definitely trust new ownership and new management. Obviously, they can't do what the former organization or ownership and management did in the past. Like excited to bring back, hopefully, like those old school uniforms are the ones that were, during the Snyder years. But understand can't go back to the old name, but just want to talk about how I think a lot of people wish just come up with any name starting with R. But excited for the new uniforms. Hopefully, they look great going forward.
It's a good call, Eric. I appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Nope.
Let's let Tailgate Ted round us out here. Teddy, it's a
What's
big
going on,
day for
boys?
you. Training camp and Uni Talk.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. I know some fans are having a hard time claiming the passes. If you're a season ticket holder, make sure you're logged into your SeatGeek account because that's what some of the stuff is going on to claim your spot. But, man, I'm happy with the fact that we have this many passes available for the fans because that just means it's more time for the team to focus without us being there and do what really matters and get ready for the season. I mean, the team has stuff available for us, and they're still out there. So I agree with B. I'd rather they go out to Carlisle or someplace away from us so they can just focus on it. But I'm happy that we have enough time to go out there and actually spend time with them as well.
Yeah, man. Great call, Ted. Well said. And I know you're a dude that goes to everything. And I think the fact that there are still tickets available, like we're now 90 minutes into this thing. That's plenty of time. In the world we live in where everybody's on their phone all the time, they've seen a notification about this. I think, thank you, Ted. Appreciate you, man. Have a great 4th of July.
Appreciate you, boys.
All right, brother.
You too.
Sometimes I think people just want to complain. Like whatever the news
That's
is,
normally
whatever
what it
gets
is.
announced, they're just mad about something. I did want to circle back to something Landfill wrote on the show sheet, B. When we return, is tomato soup stupid? Nobody go anywhere.
This sports update is brought to you by Main Street Bank. Cheer local, bank local. After breaking the news that the Commanders will reveal an alternate or throwback helmets this summer, sportslogo.net now has a date. They are reporting that the Washington Commanders will be the first to reveal a new alternate helmet and jersey on July 9th. Looks like this may be a throwback, maybe including a spear, just like those leaked photos we saw. And the Nationals have a split doubleheader on deck after a rainout postponed that series opener with the Tigers. Trevor Williams on the mound for Game 1, Mackenzie Gore on the mound for Game 2. Now, the Tigers are one of the best teams in baseball, but the Nationals got an unforeseen day off yesterday with the rainout, meaning they've now had 2 days to rest and recharge coming off that big West Coast road trip, and they played 19 games in 20 days. So that's going to be essential for resting those bullpen arms. We'll see what they have in store for 2 games today coming up on the Fan. Main Street Bank is a business-focused community bank proudly serving the DMV since 2004. Visit mstreetbank.com to learn how to put our team in your office. Main Street Bank, member FDIC, equal housing opportunity lender. From the Crop Medcal 5-Star Sports Desk, Savannah McCann on the Fan.
BMitch Finlay, 1067 The Fan. Fired up. Nats daytime baseball is coming in just a few minutes. I saw Vic Ferreira is here, which means the Nats are on. Who's pitching today, White Brian? Can you find that out for me? I want the pitching matchup. I also found out some information last night, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the people that work between 1067 and 980, who do you think is most fit to be a fraternity advisor?
All the people that work fraternity advisor, none of them.
What if I told you the one dude I know of, maybe there's more, but I know of one. Guess who the Phi Sigma Kappa fraternity advisor is at American University?
Mm-hmm.
Chris Russell.
Chris Russell.
Landfill, how do you feel about Rooster guiding America's youth?
That's horrifying.
That's facts. Chris Russell, fraternity advisor to Phi Sig Cap at AU. Hopefully that's public news.
Did they lose a bet?
I don't know. What kind of advice do you think Roos gives them about entering the workforce and then complaining about having to work when days are scheduled? How do you think that goes, B? All right, men. Someday you're going to have a job, and then you got to complain about it endlessly.
We got to get Rooster to stroll for us.
Do you think Rooster has a fraternity dance, B?
I would love to see it if he does. Nah, that's not a fraternity dance right there, Rooster. I don't know what the hell that
That's
is.
what strolling is.
No, not that.
What he's currently doing is not that. If you're on the stream, do it again. Do it again, Roost. White Brian, make sure you get this for the people. That's the official Phi Sigma Kappa dance.
We're doomed. We're done.
It can't
It's
be.
over.
I'm gonna try to. We're trying to brainstorm for tomorrow's 4-hour radio program on July 3rd when this city's going to be a complete ghost town. Chris, are you available to join us tomorrow?
Yeah.
How about 12:30 all the way to 1 o'clock?
Sure.
All right, great. Landfill, 12:30 to 1 is booked.
Brad gave me clearance.
Terrific. You have to get clear. You have to get.
First thing he said, he goes, "JP's looking for you."
Now we're
And I
talking.
said, "Okay."
All right.
I thought he meant GP. It's JP.
That's me. We're gonna figure out Chris Russell's fraternity.
You thought
days.
JP was GP. That's what I heard.
One letter off, B. One
what I
letter
heard.
off. Are you gonna go to the Nats game, B?
Huh?
When are you leaving for Raleigh?
Later on.
What are you gonna do?
What you mean what I'm gonna do?
What is Rooster?
When you try to feel segments sometimes, you just ask questions that's out the blue, huh? I don't know what the hell I'm about to do. Hell, I'm probably gonna go get my club fixed.
Chris just brought in
Chris, what you bringing in, man?
brownies, a 15-count brownie platter fudge from Giant Food. Landfill, you excited about this? Now, Landfill, can I ask you a question? What do you think the sell-by date is on the brownie platter that Chris just brought in?
At least 6 days ago.
You're saying yesterday, Brian?
Yeah.
Today is July 2nd, correct?
Yeah.
How many days in June? 30 or 31? These brownies expired on June 30th. So
They did not expire, first of all. Sell by is different than use by.
the sell-by date is June 30th, and you are presenting these to us
Sell-by is different than use by.
Yesterday, they sold them by the 30th.
I did bring them yesterday.
Yesterday was July 1st.
I forgot them in my car yesterday, so they were sitting in the parking garage.
So, Landfill, not only are these 2 days past their sell-by date, they've been sitting in Chris's car for the last 2 days.
Hey,
Wild.
listen, you cannot accuse me of not being
but
generous.
hold on, I'm gonna take care of Chris on this one. You eat stuff from 7 months ago.
These, no problem.
So
Exactly.
Why are you complaining about it?
I'm just saying.
I mean, it's
when
like
did you-
somebody complaining that they have to work football games on Christmas Day.
When did you buy these?
I bought them the other day, Monday. I didn't see the date. Sorry.
Were they on clearance because they were past their sell?
No. Monday was the 30th.
Were they on sale, Chris? Because I'll buy a manager special. I love a good manager
I mean,
special.
I know you do because you've sent me pictures of your manager special pies.
Whoa! I have not sent you a picture of my manager special. All right, Chris.
Landfill, they send each other pictures of manager specials, man. What the hell is going on here?
White Brian, what's the pitching matchup today?
Tyler Holton and Trevor Williams.
Okay.
Real barn burner.
What are the? Let's make some bets. Don't we do that? Let's make some bets, even in July. Or let's turn the show off.
Yeah, I'm not making no bet.
I think I won yesterday. Did I win yesterday, Brian?
Nope.
Yeah.
Bang.
You just say yeah. You don't know who won.
Thank you to
Who the hell did
everybody.
he bet on?
I bet on the Pirates.
I won yesterday too. Then.
Thank you to Jack Smith for joining us today. Thank you to Neil Greenberg for joining us today. Thank you to anybody that called in. We're on tomorrow. It's going to be a barn burner. Go Nats. Game starts here in just a minute. Thanks for listening. It's BMitch Finlay. If you made it this far, Jeff owes you a beer. Brewster owes you old brownies.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast is brought to you by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
Baseball is back in Washington, D.C.
Here's the pitch, and the flashbulbs go off. It's in there, a called strike one. And that